Santa Monica-Malibu Council PTAs is excited to see some new and returning after-school programs for our children and youth. Tonight, you'll hear from representatives from SMM USD Child Development Services, CREST, and Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club. Representatives will have time to present their programs, and we will then have time for a Q&A at the end. Our other moderator this evening is SMM PTA Council Communications VP Trinity Crucell. We invite the community to listen to the presentations and submit questions through the Q&A function at the bottom of your Zoom window. After the presentations, Trinity will present questions from the chat and or from this Q&A and invite the proper panelists to answer. Tonight's webinar will be recorded and Spanish translation provided for the recorded version. Our panelists tonight are from CDS, Director Dr. Susan Samardzich-Powell, Coordinator for School Age Programs, Monica Simon. Also from SMM USD, Sports Facility Supervisor and Joint Youth Liaison, Brian Part. From CREST Supervisor, Luisa Costa. CREST Director, Concepcion Rexe. From the Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club, Chief Operations Officer Ian Keeler. Director of Executive and Program Administration, Nina Kiefer. Thank you all so very much for taking time to be here tonight and to present information to our community. Please remember that questions will only be taken through the Zoom Q&A function at the bottom of your Zoom window. Please click there if you have any questions that you would like to be answered. And we'll start tonight with CDS. Welcome, Susan and Monica.
Thank you so much, Erica, and thank you everyone for being here this evening. We do appreciate the opportunity to share with all of our community members to the greatest extent possible information about our programs. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to make sure that everybody can see this. So, wonderful. So thank you so much for having us this evening. I am Susan Samardzich-Powell, and I am the Director of Early Learning in Child Development Services. Alongside with me this evening is Monica Simon, our coordinator of both our infant and toddler care programs, as well as our school age programs. Very briefly, school age programs is through Santa Monica-Malibu Unified School District. We are a TK through 3rd grade program that serves students before and after school. What does childcare look like in our programs? You can see in front of you some fun pictures that we've taken over the years. You can see where our students have an opportunity in a friendly, safe, and well-supervised environment to meet with their friends at the beginning of the day if needed. We open at 7 a.m. and we go until the start of the school day. For each school, it's a little bit different, so that's why we don't put time in there, because some schools start at 8:25, some schools at 8:30, and you get the idea. But we do open at 7 a.m. and run until the start of school. And then at the end of the school day, dismissal. So again, it looks different for different children in schools at different grade levels. So TK, the end of their TK and kindergarten day, as well as 1st through 3rd grade day, until 6 o'clock in the evening. We do have an opportunity for families, if they only wanted AM care, just the morning, they could ask for that as well. But our programs typically run before and after school. And in our after school programs, you would typically see, as a general rule, I don't give you a full list of the lesson planning in front of you, but ideas that we support students with their homework as needed. We provide arts and crafts opportunities, different cooking projects. We use science experiments and a variety of outdoor activities that our children get to kind of run throughout the day and the afternoon with us. We are there as a support to the educational program that is provided through the school district. Children have an opportunity to have snack with us. There is a balance of indoor and outdoor play with our students. So they are indoors for some of the time and they are outdoors for some of the time. We know we're at the end of the day. And so we want to make sure that we're providing a space for kids to have the opportunity to run, jump, and play, as well as some quiet time as needed. And we really do try and engage what the needs are of the students in each classroom, and then plan our activities around their interests, while also following some of our state guidelines that we are required to adhere to. So for our programs, very briefly, we do serve TK through 3rd grade. You can see the cost in front of you, which is the cost for a full fee program. We do offer subsidized support for families who would qualify for financial assistance, and you can see the hours there as well. We do have what we call a pre-enrollment application form. It's called the PEEF, but basically it's an application for a wait list. It does not mean that someone is enrolled. It simply means they're expressing their interest. And you can go to our district website, and then on the quick links, you'll see something that says Child Development Services. And in there, you'll see the PEEF form that you can fill out and submit to our school age programs. So the great news is we love what we do. Our job is to try and support care for children whose families need that support. We love being with our students, and it's a joy to be there every day. Our teachers are there because they like to be supporting children. The bad news is for us right now is we are almost completely full at almost every site. And I say this because we would love to have more classrooms open at more sites. And the reality for us is we are short-staffed. We have been since COVID, the onset of COVID. We're trying to recover as much as possible. We're working hard. We have very many feelers out for staff, but it is limiting for us right now. So we are continuing to work to try and get new staff with us. And when we do, those are when we can open programs to a wider degree. But we do have a few spots available for some subsidized families. But for any family who has an interest right now, I would recommend, if you are interested, that you complete the pre-enrollment application form and submit it. And then that way we know of your interest. So if and when something does become available, we're able to support you. The form is very brief. It's in front of you right here. It is not something you have to take a lot of time on. The first page is the required page. The second page is if you are requesting financial assistance, we need a little bit more information from you. And you can always call and get assistance from us if you have that need. But we do love what we do, and we're really interested in trying to support people as much as possible. It's just a little bit of a struggle right now. And Monica, is there anything that I missed you wanted to make sure that I added?
All good. I think you covered everything. Also, just want a reminder on if you're filling out the PEEP, make sure you sign and date the back, because that's how we place you on our wait list based on your date of submittal. Thank you.
Thank you all. We look forward to talking with you. And if you have questions, you're welcome to give us a call. We are on the district website, and we're pretty easy to find. With that, I'll say thank you.
Great information. Thank you so much, Susan and Monica. Appreciate that. All right. With that, we will move on to CREST next. Before we do, a quick reminder to our community to use the Q&A function at the bottom of your Zoom screen to submit your questions. Welcome, Luis and Concepcion.
Thank you for having us. And I'm going to share my screen now and provide you with some of the CREST programs information. So we are very excited to be here this evening, and I am trying to get my screen to work here. I'm sorry. Okay, let me move that, and we will get moving. Thank you for having us. Oh, gee. Okay, here we go. Thank you for having us. My name is Concepcion Rexade, and I'm with the City of Santa Monica Community Services Department, and I'm here this evening with Luis Acosta, our CREST Program Supervisor. And we have some information for you with regard to CREST programs that are taking place at the elementary schools this school year. And to get started, we wanted to tell you a little bit about our programs. And so we're a very unique collaboration with a long time collaboration with the school district. And we have traditionally offered programs at all 7 elementary schools. And we're at all the schools this fall and for this school year. As we all know, your SMASH is closed, and we are offering our CREST enrichment programs at the Michelle and Barack Obama Center for Inquiry and Exploration. So we are there offering CREST enrichment this year. This year. I'm also sharing on our screen here all of our contact information. Of note is that the CREST Youth Office, which was formerly located at Reed Park, is now located at Virginia Avenue Park. And this is our current address. Phone number is the same, and our website and our email. So as mentioned, CREST is a very unique collaboration between the school district and the city of Santa Monica. And we partner with school age programs to offer or mirror an after school program, a childcare program. Our component of CREST, which is called CREST Club, is offered for 4th and 5th graders. And we too offer a variety of activities, including on-site supervision, homework assistance. We provide children with local excursions and enrichment activities, all which are balanced with some outdoor fun after school. And of note is our highly trained staff who work at each of our school sites, and all of which are very dedicated, many of whom work at the school district school sites during the day. And they put together a really nice and safe program for our kids in the After School CREST Club. On the screen, I'm sharing some information about our fees. I also wanted to mention that the city of Santa Monica offers financial assistance for qualifying families. And it's a very generous program. We're happy to assist families one-on-one at our school sites and at our offices. Our program also runs from school dismissal until 6 p.m. And in addition to CREST Club, we also offer CREST enrichment classes. And we offer a variety of topics and classes. This fall, we have we're offering about 110 classes across the 7 school sites, with our start date for the fall program is September 19th. So get your kids registered, and our class fee range, it ranges between $165 to $230 and $230. And in addition to that, we also offer financial assistance to qualifying families. And let's see here. So I also wanted to add, I know we're talking about after school programs, but the City of Santa Monica CREST programs do also offer school break camps. So you can keep your eye open for winter camp program information following at the end of fall. But I also wanted to open up and see if Luis Acosta has anything to add for our CREST programs.
Yeah, it's actually specifically for our CREST enrichment program. We have over 30 different contractors offering a variety of activities for our programs. So there is something out there for your child to participate in our after school activities. All the programs are school-based at your child's elementary school. We work diligently with our school-age program staff in the school district, as well as Boys and Girls Club, to make sure that all the kids are cared for and get to where they have to be at all times. And they're actively supervised throughout the experience in the after-school program. So registration, we're still taking registration. I know some of our classes are full. This week, we're currently working with the contractors to see if we can open up space in some of these classes. And we should have answers by the end of this week and see how many more kids we can accommodate We have over
Luis, I think you're, there you go.
There we go. I just figured that out just now. Thank you. Yeah, it's we have a variety of activities, as we said, and registration is still going on. We're working with the contractors for each of the classes to see if we're gonna take more kids in each of the classes that are more popular, just like the Lego robotics, the musical theater, like Franklin and things like that. So be patient with us, as this is a process, and we look to try to accommodate as many as we can. We have over 1,200 kids already registered up to this point, and we just started registration last week. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us on our Quest website. My phone number as well is on just about every class you can click on, so you can always reach me directly. I'm better at email than I am phone calls. I feel I can kind of get to the questions a little quicker. So, but I do strive to answer everybody's questions within 24 hours every day. That's pretty much it for me, and thank you for the time, and we look forward to an exciting fall season this year.
Wonderful program, some more great information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Concepcion. Thank you, Luis. All right. All right. Well, we are going to move on to our reps from Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club next. Before we do that, another reminder that we're getting to the Q&A here in a bit, but make sure to enter your questions for the Q&A by clicking on that at the bottom of your Zoom screen, that Q&A icon there. That's how we will see your questions, and then our moderator, Trinity, will get to your questions at the end and give those to the panelists to answer. So thank you, Ian and Nina. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We'll pass it on to you with the Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club.
Well, thanks for having us. This is a great lineup. It's a very impressive list of options that we have available. So we're certainly glad to be a part of this. And we'd love to be able to complement these services. As many people know, we've been in the community for 78 years, just trying to, sort of fill the gaps and meet kids and families where they're at and provide the services that are in need. And no time has been more important than the present, coming back from a pandemic that really had a lot of impact on all the services that are provided. And I think we've been able to find a way to go ahead and serve that need with a strong partnership with the district, with the city. We're really looking to bridge that gap and excited to offer what we are offering this year across the district. So, the main thing is we do have 5 locations, 3 of which serve Santa Monica Unified directly. These are our branch and our club locations that a lot of people are familiar with. We've been longstanding at John Adams Middle School. We are starting Lincoln Middle School after school programming next week. We finally arranged all the details for the facilities and things like that this week, and we will be opening up our club at Lincoln Middle School on campus next week. John Adams Middle School is currently enrolling and active, and then we have our main branch on Lincoln Boulevard. And so that's at 1220 Lincoln near Arizona. All our clubs are open when the school is open. So any day that school is in operation from dismissal till 6 or 7 o'clock, depending on the location. We have a 1:15 ratio where our qualified and trained staff are running kids through all kinds of different programs. We have transportation available at dismissal from all of the local elementary schools to our main branch Monday to Friday. There are membership and transportation fees, but we, as everybody should know, we don't turn anybody away. There are scholarships available for anybody that needs those. We're doing supper and snack every day. And we're doing that on an as needed basis. So those numbers will fluctuate based on how many people actually request it and receive it. So if that is of interest, then please make sure to identify that with one of our youth development professionals at the site. We also have select summer and holiday camps available through the year. And all the programming that you'll see at our sites is focused on around our 4 pillars of healthy habits, where really what we're working with our kids, our mentors are working with kids to be able to make healthy life choices. So we have nutrition programming, we have healthy cooking, there's recreation, and we even bucket in there financial literacy skills, so that kids have some of the tools and skills and abilities to navigate the world as it is. And our social emotional wellness, this is one of the things that we find probably most relevant as kids come back from the pandemic and get reintegrated into their environments, where kids are kind of relearning how to engage. They're learning those resiliency skills, those communication skills, and working on their own and identifying like a lot of their own identity. That's where a lot of our diversity, equity, and inclusion programs come in, which is the Empowered Voices. We have an identity program just to help build kids' self-esteem and relationships. Additionally, we do a ton of leadership and community service programming, so that kids can give back and identify needs within their community and then act within that community. So we have our leaders in training, our Torch Club at the middle school, our Keystone at the high school, and then even the Smart Girls and the Passport to Manhood apply to elementary level, so that we have all levels covered in that community service and the leadership realm. 21st Century Pathways is our opportunity to introduce a lot of the STEM skills, and introducing everything from drone racing to coding to all kinds of different science and STEM related programming, with architecture, a makerspace, and all those sorts of options. The programs are varied by site. You can get some of that information through our website, which I'll just throw on the screen here in a second. So basically, we've got our clubs, we've got our sports programming, and then we have Playground Club as well. This is the image that's going to introduce our sports programming. And we might even have our athletics and wellness director join us here, Brandon Labrie. He is the face of the sports program. And basically what you can see here is that all of the Santa Monica Unified school sites have a sports option on campus. So all 7 of the elementary schools have football and volleyball happening this fall. And so football across the board is Mondays and Wednesdays with games on Saturdays. Volleyball is Tuesdays and Thursdays with games on Saturdays. At the elementary level, we're also offering football and volleyball at the middle school level, with a couple caveats and things that we're working out with in that schedule. We're still working out the dates at John Adams Middle School. At Lincoln, those practices will be Tuesday and Thursday for volleyball, and the games are to be determined. We're actually working on a kind of a special opportunity where we can get extra games against more teams, and that schedule will be coming out shortly. We'll be able to share that in a little bit, probably even within a couple days this week. What else do we need to know? The practices happen on campus after school twice a week. Most of the games are on the weekends. All right, and then we also have the Playground Club, which is formerly known as Playground Access. Again, this is at all 7 elementary schools. We've had a strong response on Playground Club. Today was its first day, and it operates Monday to Friday, each day from dismissal to 4:30. So even on early release days, we'll go till 4:30. We are coordinating with all of the after-school programs and options. Oops, to go back. Oh, down there. Apologies, folks. Little eager on the trigger finger. So we're coordinating with the schools and the teachers to collect kids for the Playground Club. We're closed when the school is closed, so any school holidays, but also on rainy days. And on those rainy days, we'll make that announcement by noon and by email to all of our families. Of course, we're asking people as usual to report any positive COVID results or anything like that. But also be aware of regular safety issues as Playground Club is outside. And so we do not offer snacks in the Playground Club. So please do bring your own snacks, and kids will be outside at that time. As we know, this past week, it has been a hot one. So just make sure that your kids are prepared for all of that. It's $25 a month for the Playground Club and $10 additional for additional siblings. This might be part of the popularity of the club. There are 2 schools currently capped again at their capacity, and that's Franklin and Roosevelt are currently capped. But we do have, again, we want to highly encourage the option of using our main branch and getting picked up at those locations and brought to the club on Lincoln. There are additional programming and a greater depth of programming going on at the main branch. It also goes for a later period of time. So the main branch doesn't close until 7 o'clock, offering people a lot more flexibility with their timeframes. Anything that I missed on the Playground Club?
Covered it.
Awesome. So to register, we have got some feedback on our website, so we do appreciate that. The main thing here is that you can go to this blue banner to find more information on the departments, the branches, the clubs, the sports and Playground Club. But once you're ready to sign up, you can see the little yellow circle at the top that says sign up. That's your most comprehensive and direct way to sign up for the program of your choice. And once you're in there, you will either log in using an existing account or create an account. And then you will look to set up, once you've logged in, you're going to search for the activity. You'll see a list of options and be able to complete the prompts based on the program of your interest. But if you do have any questions, any trouble navigating that system, please don't hesitate to call or email with the information that is on the page. And that is it for the Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ian and Nina. I know our community is excited about these programs and very happy about Playground Club. I'm grateful for it. We'll move into the Q&A portion of the webinar now. And again, I'd like to ask everyone to, if you have a question, to go ahead and click on the Q&A down at the bottom. We won't be able to take any live questions today, so all of your questions will go into the Q&A that Trinity will then moderate. And with that, I'll pass it over to you, Trinity. Thanks.
Great. So let's start with, I have some questions for, these are going to be directed towards CDS. I have a question about, can CDS provide snacks at school sites?
Thanks, Trinity. So I did answer that one in a private chat, but everyone knows. So we are in contract with the state, and our food programs are in connection with Title I schools. So we're only allowed to serve snacks at Title I schools. So I shared that with the family that asked.
Okay. Well, in case I do have, I think it would be helpful just for everyone for some of these questions.
Sure.
I have a question about, is there an afternoon only option for the, I have people referring to this as the SAP program. Is that?
That's right. That's our school age program.
That is CDS.
So we have a different title so that people know there's the TK through 3rd grade, which is our through SMM USD school age, and then CREST is 4th and 5th grade. So we label them differently so everyone knows. And we currently have only an option that's AM only. And then if you choose an afternoon option, your AM carries automatically in your enrollment. We are exploring the potential idea of splitting that up next year and then potentially paying for what you need. but it's very hard for us to staff appropriately. So it's still in the exploratory stage. So I said, just keep your eyes open and see what, as we get a little bit further into the school year for next year.
Thank you. And then just to be, I think we need a little bit further, this could be either for CREST or CDS. Can we further clarify the difference between CDS and CREST enrichments?
So I can start by saying, so CDS runs our school age programs, which is childcare, TK through 3rd grade. CREST runs 4th and 5th grade childcare. CREST additionally runs enrichment classes. School age programs we do not do any enrichment courses, but children can be enrolled in our school age programs and enroll in an enrichment class. For example, Lego robotics, or I know that's one of the favorite ones. And so they can be in our school age programs enrolled for the regular childcare, which takes them every day from dismissal until 6 p.m. And then on Tuesdays, if CREST was offering Lego robotics enrichment from 2 to 3, they would be able to go to that and then come back to our school age programs till the end of their school, until the end of that day. So that's I think the biggest difference at this moment. Luis, did I want to?
Yeah, I can actually even piggyback on what you just said, is that we actually coordinate with all the staff from school age programs so that we pick up the kids from their childcare room, take them out to the class, then return them to their class. So our staff coordinates that with the school age program staff. So the kids are never unsupervised. And I think that's key, especially when you have several different things going on campus. Yeah, and the enrichment classes are TK to 5th grade, depending if you offer kindergarten or TK at your school, but it covers the whole spectrum. And that's just enrichment specifically, because we also offer CREST Club, kind of what the school age program offers, but for 4th and 5th grade students only. So thank you for that. You hit it right on the head there, Susan.
Well, of our partnership with y'all.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you for that. Actually, I'm going to jump into a different question that's a more general question that's similar to that. As far as the Boys and Girls Club, Playground Club, and CREST, what is the protocol for when a child has an extra activity like an enrichment class when they are currently at Playground Club or something else?
Hi, happy to help with that. So we will be coordinating all of the different extracurricular activities that occur on campus. Concepcion, Monica, and I will be sharing our rosters, and my staff will have those lists and be able to help the students get to any extracurricular activities that they have in addition to Playground Club.
Sorry, I had a little bit of noise. I had to mute. Okay, so for this question is for CREST. How often do CREST programs publish a new schedule, and how far in advance would you post for the particular sessions?
The schedules are actually posted seasonally as we work with different contractors per season in regards to availability and what classes we can offer at each of the school sites, because we also have to coordinate facilities before those classes are finalized. So typically 3 to 5 days before registration opens, a schedule for that season will post. And that's per season as different classes are offered each individual season. Registration in the winter begins December 5th. And I thought I put it in the Q&A. I thought I typed that in, but December 5th through the 27th, registration for winter enrichment begins. The classes won't begin until we come back after winter break, January 3rd. For spring, registration begins 22nd and runs through the 10th of March, and classes would begin on the 20th. As we club are able to publish those classes, we will do so. We typically try to aim for at least a week prior to registration begins so that parents can look at the schedule and see what's available for them before registration date actually opens. But typically about 3 to 5 days.
Thank you. Okay, so these next questions are for Boys and Girls Club. You mentioned that the fees for Playground Club were per month, but I believe it's online, like you pay for the year annually. Are there monthly payment options?
The Playground Club is $25 a month. Parents do have the option to pay upfront for those fees, but it is the schedule where you are charged on the first of every month.
So on the registration page, it might show the total amount on the registration page, but the actual processing fees are monthly. And so it might show the cumulative amount, but you're charged $25 per month.
And just in case they were meaning this for also sports or other the other programs, are those offered monthly as well?
Yeah, Lincoln Middle School would be another fee for service program that is charged monthly. You might see the full ticket price for the year on the registration page, but it says month, but there is an indication that isn't as noticeable as we would like, that it's a monthly fee for that program as well.
There are several questions regarding the wait list for specific programs at specific schools. It probably makes more sense if there was someone specific that they can contact. I mean, unless you want to answer very specifically about, I'm sorry, I'm losing questions here. Like for Ed Grant, for example.
We're only on a wait list for Playground Club, at least for the Roosevelt and Franklin schools. And that's only, I think, a few kids right now because we have opened up that enrollment significantly. If people are still on the wait list and have questions, I'd be happy to have them reach out to me. We are actively hiring and hope to be able to pull everyone off that wait list as quickly as possible.
Actually, I think that might have been for Crest enrichments.
We're actually
But thank you. I mean,
working,
that's also good.
for Crest Enrichment, we're working currently with the contractors regarding additional space in their class, as well as we have to then, once we finalize that there is interest to increase the number of kids in each of the classes, and we still have to work with the school to see if there is additional space to be able to offer those classes. There is a limit of the number of classrooms and space that we have at each school, but we look to try to add as many kids as possible from each of the wait lists. That's just started this week. So some of the staff, some of the school sites, specifically at Franklin, started making calls on Friday to add some of the kids off wait lists, as well as up to the top of my head, Roosevelt. I know we made some calls on Friday as well, just to kind of get the process going, because we got pretty quick responses from some of the contractors. But that's this week. We're trying to see how many additional kids we can add off the wait list. It is a process, but we're looking to try to add as many as possible. And we do have the staffing to cover at this point. So staffing is not an issue at this point. It's just a matter of space, safe child to instructor ratios, as well as available facilities to conduct the classes at each of the schools.
I have a question about enrichment, Crest enrichment, about is it possible to get a larger variety of classes at Will Rogers specifically? The classes that were enjoyed at John Muir are not currently available.
Yeah, we look to rotate the classes as well as available contractors. So we also don't, there's some contractors that we don't have back this year. So we try to offer the ones that are popular. It's like people keep watching in robotics, top of the head musical theater is very popular. So we try to keep those going as best we can. And we also look to offer a variety of classes as they become available with instructors. So yes, we could.
Thank you. I have a question about timing of kids in volleyball, and I'm assuming this means volleyball for Santa Monica, the Boys and Girls Club. How does that timing work with kids that are enrolled also in Crest enrichment classes, I believe? Just Crest classes.
So It would be a scheduling issue, so you just want to make sure that the crest enrichment is on a different day or time as volleyball. So the second and third graders will be the first practice after school. The fourth and fifth graders in sports will be the second practice after school. So it brings up actually a great point too, is that if you're in that let's say the second practice starts at 4 o'clock, those kids that are in the 4 o'clock session should also be in some other supervised care up until 4 o'clock. Because our coaches are going to be with their teams and we need those kids enrolled, which is also why we're trying to staff up Playground Club as much as possible. So we are catching up to all of that. But in terms of the timing of the practice, we would start about 15 minutes after the end of school for the first practice. And the second practice will be about an hour after school has dismissed. If that helps.
Let's see. Sorry, I got more questions. Okay, so I have a question about Franklin School staff instructed us that we can only apply for SAP once our child is enrolled, but it seems like we can apply for 23-24 year now and enroll their child in TK in spring for the school year 23-24. I think the question is about, I had another question about, can you enroll a child before, or can you get on the wait list for SAP before they're enrolled?
Thanks, Trinity. Yes. So what we're letting families know is the year before your child enrolls, you're welcome to complete an application. So someone had asked if they should do it for a 3-year-old. This is probably the question we were thinking of. 3 is a little too early because we still, lots of things change in the 2 years before the child would be entering TK or kinder, but the year before, so if your child is entering TK next year or kindergarten next year, you can put in an application now. We will have to confirm that the child is eventually enrolled, but it's okay to put the application in now so that we have that information. And we did clarify that with the Franklin office staff so that they are hopefully able to tell families now that, yes, you don't have to wait until you have confirmation that you're enrolled, but in fact that you can put it in the year in advance so that when you are ready, then we hopefully have that space available.
Thank you. What is the staff ratio for Playground Club?
Hi, sorry, clicking the wrong buttons here. We're at about a 1 to 20 or 1 to 25 ratio right now.
Great. And then, so for the Playground Club, and I did actually hear this from another parent, that there is the availability when you register to register your kindergartner in Playground Club, like it allows you to do so. But the question is there a plan for kindergarten TK?
So we do start at grade 1. Unfortunately, our registration system only allows us to distinguish kids based on their age. And with that said, and the disparity of ages between kindergartners and first graders, unfortunately, there is some ability for people who are not in grade 1 to get in. We will be refunding out anyone who is in kindergarten or lower, and they're welcome to join us for Playground Club as soon as they go into the first grade. That information has also been updated on our website, and hopefully it's a little more prominent now.
Our charter with the Boys and Girls Club nationally allows us to serve 6 to 18-year-olds, and that is kind of that is the age range that we are dedicated to in this case. So there are not currently plans to take on kinder or TK at the moment.
Let's see, I think I might have. I think that might be all the questions. I tried to compile them into one if they sounded very similar. If anyone hasn't had a question answered clear enough, if you don't mind resubmitting. Will Boys and Girls Club be meeting with on-site CREST coordinators directly?
Yes, I have some meetings already scheduled with the different site coordinators, but they should be meeting with their counterparts as well, both the Boys and Girls Club staff and the CREST staff. I know we have some shared storage locations on sites as well.
Okay, and then one more. To confirm, the only programs available for kinder are SAP and CREST Enrichment?
That's correct.
And then what happens to children during the 20-25 minutes between end of school and enrichment programs that don't have SAP or Playground Club?
Can you repeat that? You kind of.
What happens to children during the 20-25 minutes between end of school and the enrichment programs who don't have SAP or Playground Club?
If they're in 1st through 5th grade, our staff will meet them at the enrichment kiosk or enrichment check-in area. There'll either be a cone with the roster of all the participants that are instructed with that staff, with that program. Our staff will wait with the kids until the class begins and the instructor arrives. Once the instructor arrives, we'll take them to their class, they return to the same location, and we'll do sign out there or at the gate, depending on what is designated for each of the schools. For kindergartners, we pick up all the kids directly from the classroom at the special time. And the same thing, the staff will remain with the kids until the class begins, and then the instructor returns them to the checkout area at the conclusion of the class. So they're not unsupervised at any
time. So will Playground Club staff be on site during rainy days if there is a cancellation? So if there's a cancellation, you mentioned that you would notify parents to pick up, but will there be staff
No,
supervising them until they're picked
will
up?
not be on site on rainy days. On rainy days when there are no services offered, we will not be there. We'll be notifying everyone via email by noon that day, letting them know.
Oh, by noon. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Our Boys and Girls Club, are there activities offerings at the JAMS location?
Yeah, John Adams Middle School, we have our program in operation there currently. It's up and running. It's the clubhouse on the southwest corner. So we do have that program in operation. We still have some capacity there and accepting registrations and membership there.
Well, it says they don't, they're unable to find the listings of activities at the JAMS branch on the website.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we have posted the Lincoln Middle School list of activities. We haven't posted the John Adams Middle School, but if anybody's interested in that, you can get in touch with the branch director there, and or even Nina, just to sign her up for something else. We can share the calendar on request.
And then if a child is unable to attend their CREST enrichment class on a particular day, do we need to notify the instructor beforehand?
So they should actually notify us through our CREST mailbox, and then we'll get the information to the instructor before the class begins.
Okay, I think that might be everything.
Forgive me if I missed this. Did we address kindergartners and playground club?
They did, yes.
Okay.
Readdress it. We start serving at grade 1. So anyone who is in kindergarten who is able to slip into the program, we will be refunding them.
Right. And I think that's about it, unless you see something else, Trinity. Any other questions?
I don't think so. I mean, I think if I guess for convenience, I would like to get everyone like your website where parents can get information and register. I mean, I think I have most everybody, but if there's any particular way that you want to be contacted with additional questions from parents, I can post it all just together on the smmpta.org website, and then, you know, socials and all these, just so that there's like a main hub where they can find all the different options together.
And to our community, your PTA meetings are a good place to find out more information on site-specific, you know, questions that you may have specifically related to what's happening at your school. You can, you know, hear from the principal there, ask questions there, and gather more information on programs that are happening specifically at your school. So make sure to attend those meetings and get involved there. And if there's anything else, again, I want to thank all of our panelists so much for being here tonight. We truly appreciate your programs and your time. And just thank you for being here. And thank you to our community as well for coming, showing up, and providing questions. Thank you all so much. Right.
Thank you for facilitating this. We appreciate it.
Welcome. All right. Good night, everyone. Take care.